Kiwis are getting behind smarter ways to reduce the harm caused by alcohol. For the past 6 years, the New Zealand Alcohol Beverages Council has independently surveyed Kiwis, and the results show their strong support for cracking down on things like repeat drink drivers, confiscating their cars. Education has also been highlighted as a key, especially in school programs, and even backing alcohol education in the workplace. There's been progress as well. Since 2014, driving convictions have dropped by 27%, and alcohol-related road deaths fell nearly 40%. There's also new laws that make interlocks for your car, if you don't pass a breath test, mandatory. But there is still work to be done. Notably, the survey showed that men factor in the stats considerably more than women, with nearly 4 out of 5 convictions for drink driving. To tell us more about this, walk us through it, the results, Virginia Nicholls is the Executive Director of NZABC, and she joins me now. Hello, Virginia.
Hello, how are you, Leah?
I'm really good. How are you? I know you're in the deep, deep south. Is it freezing?
It is cold down here, there's no doubt about it. We have had a splattering of sunshine come through, so that makes it not too bad.
Nice. No snow. Does Dunedin get snow? I should know
no,
this. I don't
look,
know this.
not a lot. It will come in the hills and in the higher suburbs, but not a huge amount of snow actually in Dunedin.
Oh, yeah. Virginia, there's quite a bit here to unpack, but overwhelmingly the survey results show support, which is great, for curbing harmful drinking. Can we look at some of the breakdowns, starting with the support for confiscating cars for repeat drink drivers? I mean, that's sensible, is it not? And does that not already happen?
I think it absolutely does. I mean, I think you're right. There's strong support here, and I think these targeted interventions work really well. You're quite right. Confiscating cars does, as I understand it, already happen. But I think what this is showing is just the support out and about there, and our community is strong.
Because I know that a judge can overturn the seizing of a vehicle if it causes extreme hardship. So I'm not quite sure what the rules are, but I believe in confiscating cars from recidivist drunk drivers, absolutely. Let's talk these programs, because 70% wanted alcohol education programs in schools, which makes sense. What programs are already there, though, Virginia? Do we not have enough?
Well, most of us agree that targeted education support programs create a much better understanding of responsible drinking. A fact borne out by 70% of us surveyed agreed that such programs reduce alcohol harm. And since 2019, the Tomorrow Project, it's a social change charity governed by Spirits NZ, New Zealand Wine Growers and the Brewers Association, funded the Life Education Trust to deliver Smashed. It's a theatre and education program for high school students. It provides wonderful practical information and advice to support better decision making. And I think there's probably one other thing. All the research tells us the earlier that we can start talking to teenagers about drinking, the less likely it is that they will become hazardous drinkers or indeed start drinking at all, which is why educations are just so very important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Hey, why do you think targeted support programs for harmful drinkers got such a high public support? Are we seeing a shift from an attitude maybe towards treatment over punishment?
I think so. I think that particular one has remained relatively steady, and I think there's an understanding for hazardous drinkers. They need programs specifically for them to get them off. These are long-term hazardous drinkers. And so it's quite important, and I think most of us in society would agree that they need more help and assistance. It's a health issue.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hazardous drinking, though, Virginia, I saw that amongst adults over the past 4 years, that has declined about 16%. It's going the right way.
It's going the right way. I mean, again, these are independent surveys. The New Zealand Health Survey, which provides us information on our health and well-being, shows that around about 5 out of 6 of us drink beer, wine and spirits responsibly, which is an increase of 4.7 percentage points over the last 4 years, which is a lot. And equally, hazardous drinking has declined. But still, 1 out of 6 of us drink in a hazardous way, which is not great. And the Stats New Zealand alcohol consumption per capita data shows that we've also declined since 1986. We're down by 28%. And on top of that, so these are all good trends really. We also drink below the OECD average, less than the US, the UK, Australia, Germany, France, and Ireland. So really good trend data coming in here of we drink very, very differently.
This might be a bit silly, Virginia, but what do we, when we say hazardous drinking, like what are we putting under that title? Obviously, driving drunk, yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What else?
So we have the New Zealand guidelines or low risk guidelines, and so for women, it's 2 standard drinks a day and have at least 2 days off per week, and for men, it's no more than 3 standard drinks a day, and again, have at least 2 days off per week. So it's important to understand what a standard drink is.
Well, I thought wine was about 150 mils, isn't it? That's what bars give you.
It's about 100 mils actually, and so wine is always, yes it is. So if you actually go as I did and actually go and measure 100 mils, and so it's a bit deceiving really, yeah.
No, get it.
Yeah.
Hey, so hang on. So what you told me then, so for women, 2 standard drinks a day, and one a day,
no more than 2 standard drinks, and 2 days off each way.
2 days off, and then for men it's 3, and then also 2 days off.
Yes.
If you're having more than that, is that hazardous drinking?
Absolutely.
Does that fall in?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah, and I think the important thing there too is have a look. Ask, like if you're getting, say they're mixing you a cocktail or something like that, actually ask, how many standard drinks are in there. So start counting your drinks and also start interchanging with water or perhaps a low or no alcohol product as well. A lot of people are doing that now as well to sort of, stretch it out for the night, which is a really good way to go. And also have a look, if you've got a can or something, have a look on the side of it. It'll say, 1 standard drink or whatever it might be, depending how much alcohol is in the can or the bottle.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because I when I thought hazardous drinking, I was thinking obviously driving drunk, drinking to excess where you pass out. You're obviously really, really drunk, or it affects you the next day, so you can't work or you're hungover. I thought that would all fall under hazardous drinking, but. If you have more than 2 standard drinks a day, you're a hazardous drinker.
Yes. Yeah.
What's pretty striking of this as well is that nearly 80% of drink driving convictions, sadly, are men. So why do you think this is? Did it go into why?
It doesn't actually go into why, but I think we've seen it for some period of time, and this has sadly remained relatively the same in the years that I actually got that data in the last 10 years. And so that says we really need to do a little bit more work. I mean, I think we need to put it into perspective as well. I mean, since 2014, the total number of New Zealanders convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol and or drugs, it's declined by 27%. So again, going in the right direction, that's really good. But still, it's stayed relatively the same, that round about, 4 out of 5 people that are convicted are men, and it's still too many. And so again, it says, okay, what's going on there? And I know there's a lot of research and things in the background on that, and they're probably greater risk takers as well, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.